Hi guys, I am Christina Heideck with PTO Answers, and today I'm going to be talking about a very popular topic. It seems a lot of people are very interested to know, how the heck do you get actual engagement on your PTO Facebook page? So we're going to dive into that today, but before we get started, I want to give you a nice little nudge, a little reminder to actually like or subscribe to the PTO Answers Facebook page or YouTube channel, whichever one you happen to be watching this video on right now, because that is actually the first tip. Actually, I'll get into that a little bit later. But so when you are talking about getting engagement on your PTO Facebook page, first, and that's like such a big thing, and so many people are like, we can't be in the building, so we really need to be heavy on Facebook and getting our message out. But you really have to decide the importance or the purpose of your Facebook outreach. Like, what is the whole deal? Are you trying to build community with your Facebook page? Are you just trying to share information that parents and kids and people in the community need to know? Are you trying to do something else, like inspire, entertain, educate? I don't know. So before you can decide whether you are meeting your engagement goals, first you have to decide what you want to engage them in. And I think you have to be like really realistic about what your PTO can do and why you want to be on Facebook to begin with. So I would say that you probably definitely want to be informing parents and community members and students, even like older students who might have Facebook accounts. You know, none of the high schoolers do, but let's pretend here in a little bit and be in La La Land about that. But you need to definitely build community. I think that's a really good way. Just to have another communication method, I think, is great, especially if your PTO does not have independent access to parent and student emails. I think it's a good idea, but I think that you should definitely be trying to get independent access to that information, because Facebook is, they could decide to shut down your PTO page without notice. So without warning, if you happen to violate the terms of service somehow, they're not obligated to give you a page. So I would really think of Facebook as an addition, but not the sole means of communicating with your families. So you've decided to have a PTO Facebook page, and you've decided you want to get more engagement on that page, but like, how much really engagement should you expect? So the reality is, on any Facebook page, you're only going to get 1 to 2% of the people who like and or follow your page to actually see your posts. So that means if you have 100 parents following your page, only 1 or 2 of those parents are actually going to see your posts. Why is that? Well, Facebook is a business, and they want to make money from the platform, and they want to have businesses, which PTOs are. We're nonprofit businesses. They want to be making money from us. So you're really going to need to keep that in mind, that you can put out as much stuff as you want, but only 1 to 2% are going to see it. Okay? So just let that temper any of your expectations. And so know that, like, anytime you post something on your PTO page, pretty much no one's going to see it. So I hate to be like such a bummer about that, but that is truly what is going on. So, and I'm going to give you a solution to that, like what you can do instead, still on Facebook and still, meet your goals of engaging them and building community, but just a slightly different way. So if you have a PTO Facebook page, you're going to need to tell like everybody and their mother about it. So I want you to be advertising it. Well, I don't want you to be, because I think there are actually bigger things you should be focused on. But if you've decided that you want to grow your Facebook page, you need to be promoting it on your PTO. If you have a website, if you have a newsletter, in flyers that go out, in school like announcements, I would be promoting it there. But just know that it is not for certain, just because you post something, it's not for certain that someone's going to see it. So it's not going to just come up in their news feed. The only way that someone will absolutely see something that your PTO has posted on their Facebook page is if they are visiting your PTO's Facebook page on a daily basis. So just know that just because you're putting it out there doesn't mean people are going to see it. So that kind of might explain why you have low engagement, because no one's seeing it. So the options for that are to, you can pay to boost the posts, but I really think that's a poor use of your money. Like, I think the money could go much further in other arenas than just paying for advertising on Facebook, because it has a very limited lifespan. Like, you promote it, and then the second your advertising dollars have run out, Facebook stops pushing it into people's news feeds and they don't see it. And that's assuming that you know how to target the right groups, because that's a whole nother ball of wax, my friends, and you kind of have to know what you're doing with that. So then kind of hand in hand with determining your purpose of like why you want to have a Facebook group for your PTO, you also just like think about like what you want to be sharing. And so I encourage you to be sharing information of value. I think there's a time and a place for like cutesy little memes or things that make us all chuckle, especially like back in the spring when all hell was breaking loose, quite honestly, and schools were shutting down and parents were just thrown all into this new situation that the pandemic is. I think that was kind of the time for the entertainment and maybe cutesy stuff. And now there's just so much information that if you're just posting cutesy stuff, it's going to get lost in the shuffle. And quite honestly, I am too busy in life generally than to be searching out information for your PTO just to get a chuckle. Okay. So I want you to look to promote opportunities for people, for parents and community members to get involved with, either by volunteering their time or by giving their money directly. Like if you want to have a direct fundraising opportunity on your Facebook page, I think that's a great way to use it. Just like to bring awareness about other maybe more passive fundraising opportunities, like restaurant nights, like where people are going to be eating dinner anyway. So you say, hey, go to the burger place or go to the pizza place and tell them we sent you, we'll get some money back. I think that's a great use for your Facebook page. I would also give gentle reminders about things. I think this is a way that you can really partner with the school. And so that you're going out of your way for the school to give gentle reminders about, let's see, I know in the past we've posted things about the car line, because that is an ever-going problem. I know that we've posted information about school supplies or maybe meet the teacher night, and definitely like joint programs. You definitely want to be promoting those. I would also think about like just doing something or posting things that parents might not know about. So community events that pertain to parents and families and kids. Let's see, news about the school, like changes that are happening or proposed changes that are happening at the school or in your school district. I already said community events. Yeah, just things and news that parents need to know. Like, give them a reason to come to you. You need to be on your Facebook page, there needs to be a reason to go to you. Like I said before, parents are really busy and they're not going to be coming to you for cute little memes, okay? That's going to get old real quick and they're just going to gloss over you and ignore you, which is not what you want. You really want their attention. So what do you do instead? Like I've told you that only 1% to 2% of parents or people who follow and like your Facebook page are actually going to see your posts organically in their news feed. What do you do instead? I would challenge you to consider having a Facebook group, and I would not have an open public group. I would have a closed private group where it is going to take a little bit more time to let parents in, and you're going to set up some questions so that I guess you're just trying to filter out the bots, because let me tell you, my experience of running the PTA PTO Superstar Leader group has just really opened my eyes to all the different bots that are out there. And so you can really the thing about bots is they're not very smart, so you can outsmart them very easily by providing some very simple questions like, what is the mascot of our school, or something else that like parents would readily know, but that a troll, is not going to take the time to go investigate your school mascot. Let me just say, they're going to move on to the next easiest target. So I've heard also some people expressing concerns like, well, we're going to be sharing personal information and stuff like that. Well, don't share personal information about the school. I run a couple different Facebook groups for PTAs and schools in my district, or I'm a part of them too. And we don't really share personal information. It's mostly sharing information about the other schools. So if you have a Facebook page, I would definitely have a Facebook page, but I would take your posts that you're going to post on your Facebook page and share them into the group. That will make double sure that more people are going to see them, because Facebook I haven't heard a recent update about, I don't think they're giving out information about the percentages of people that are going to see the group posts in their news feeds. But if you take a look at your own news feed, I bet you're going to see a lot more information from groups that you're involved in than pages, right? So ignore the sponsored ads because those don't count. People are paying to get those in your news feed. But you're going to see a lot more from groups, and so you can really take advantage of that. So it's not even like you have to come up with a whole separate game plan for a group. Just post what you were going to post on your Facebook group or Facebook page, and then share it into your group. And it's really easy. And the really nice thing about both your Facebook page and your Facebook group is that you can schedule posts. So it's not like you have to sit there and do this in real time. What I have done with massive success when I was promoting, like, let's say a fundraiser or something on my PTA's Facebook page, is that so as a fundraising chair, I was given editing rights or editor rights or privileges, whatever you want to call them, for both the Facebook page and the Facebook groups that pertain to that particular school. So what I would do is draft all of my posts and schedule them out all at once. So it would take me maybe an hour and a half, but I'd have everything done. And so it's a real big time saver. And so that you don't have to be afraid of going down the rabbit hole and losing a whole bunch of time. Like, it's really easy to schedule posts, so I highly encourage that, so that you're really limiting the amount of time that you're devoting to this volunteer role, because I really think it's kind of a small one, because I don't think Facebook is, yes, almost everyone is on Facebook, but again, not everyone is on Facebook. And with their relatively recent and ongoing security breaches, and I've been noticing more and more people are leaving Facebook, like my own personal friends, and also people in the PTA, PTO Superstar Leader group. Like, I can see when people are no longer active on Facebook, and so I can remove them from the group. And yeah, there's actually a lot of people. So it might surprise you to see how much or how many people are choosing to leave Facebook. So I hope those have been some really good tips. I'll run through them again. One, you need to decide on your purpose, your overall purpose for Facebook. Like, why do you even have a Facebook group? You should never be doing anything just to be doing it, or you think you should. You should definitely have a strategy, because your time as a volunteer is super valuable. And if you're wasting it on, in my opinion, if you're wasting it on Facebook posts that only 1 to 2 people or 1 to 2% of people are seeing anyway, that's like a pain in the keister, okay? To me, not worth it. I think you should be focusing on other things. So after you've decided your purpose, be realistic about how many people are gonna actually see your post. Don't think that just by posting it on Facebook, you have a big bullhorn and you're blasting the message out to everybody. You are not. Only 1 to 2% of people are organically seeing it in their news feeds. So no, a very small population are actually seeing it. So set your bar for engagement super, super low. Next, if you decide to have a Facebook page, promote it heavily. You're gonna have to promote it. And that's why I think that the benefit of promoting your Facebook group needs to be tempered, because we're always promoting things as PTO leaders, and you don't want to be prioritizing a communication method such as Facebook, which is unreliable and really pay to play over something like an email list. Like, you would definitely want to be getting more people on your email list and not push them towards Facebook, because if you send out an email list, you are in control of getting your message out there. If you put a message out on Facebook, you're really at the mercy of the Facebook algorithm to decide who gets to see your post, and you can't control it. So not a good idea. All right. The next tip was to share information of value, not just fluffy and funny stuff. I know that stuff is fun, but it's really not going to be serving your purpose. People are just going to learn to ignore you. And the last thing is to consider a Facebook group. You'll get much higher engagement and many more eyeballs on your post if you are posting into a group versus just on a page. So there you have it. Those are 5 really great tips for boosting engagement on Facebook, and some really good nuggets of information for you to consider with your executive boards as you make the decision on how to spread the word about all the great things your PTO is doing. So I hope you've really enjoyed these tips, and I will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.